All right, I've got a very special unboxing for you guys today, one that I'm very excited about. I'm going to review for you today the BAIT x Adidas Consortium EQT Support Futures, or 9317s as the general releases are called. These collabs are called Support Futures for whatever reason, just to sort of distinguish their limited variety. And speaking of the limited edition nature of this release, you take a closer look at the box. 3 stripes, very light branded on the side, and the very light Adidas trefoil. The material on these boxes for these special edition EQTs is almost like a linen paper type feel, if you've ever felt resume paper. Very nice, very premium feeling box. If you compare it here to the Overkill EQT Support Futures, you can see it's the exact same box, and I'm only seeing this type of box on limited releases and collaborations. The Wings and Horns NMDs that I have came in a similar box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox these joints. Alright, so start with the upper. You got the black prime knit, really soft stretchy prime knit with the 3M underlays. Those, we'll take a closer look at the reflective properties later, but they've got the reflective bones pattern underneath. We got the 3M rope laces, and then an extra pair of flat black rope laces with BAIT and Adidas on the aglets. No extra lace jewels on these, but the ones that came with them both say support, and what I really like about them is they're actually made out of really hard metal. Like, it feels like steel almost, and it's a really nice touch for these limited edition releases. Up at the tongue, which we'll talk more about later, you have the Adidas Consortium hole punches, and then the Adidas trefoil on the right shoe, and BAIT on the left tongue. Moving on, you can see here the MOD cage with kind of the flywire looking lacing system going on. And now if you look inside the shoe, we can take a look at the BAIT and Adidas trefoil branding on the insoles to match the tongue branding. And then what I really like about these Ortholite insoles are made even more plush by this kind of almost tumbled leather feel that they have on them. The insoles are made out of leather, and they feel really comfy, really great on foot. That's a feature that I really like. Taking a look at the reflective properties here, you can see kind of the bone looking structure of the underlaid 3M, as well as the super reflective nature of the rope laces. A lot of people were wondering why BAIT made the design decision to have this bone kind of pattern not align with the direction of the foot in the shoe, and I think that was intentional to kind of give a sort of 3-stripe branding look, because if you look, you can only see the 3 big bones kind of going across the forefoot and looking a bit like a 3-stripe motif. So let's take a look now at the lateral side of the right shoe. As is most notable with all EQT Support 9317s or EQT Support Futures, you have the full length boost, and tons of it. Full length molded boost, in fact, to kind of give it that nice shape. You also have the molded 3 stripes inlaid, and this little lip right here is prone to these sort of boost gaps, I've noticed in the models that I've owned. So that's something to look out for if you own multiple pairs of these 9317s. On the outside here, you get a better look at the MOD mesh. I believe it's mesh optimized design or something. MOD cage. Looks a lot like the Stella McCartney Ultra Boost, but with this mesh on the inside, and then you can kind of see this flywire looking lacing system intertwined within the mesh. Hard plastic TPU kind of up backside of the cage, and then you have this neoprene heel material with a pull tab that I really like. That pull tab's not on other EQTs, and I really like that design decision. Helps kind of slide them on with the booty fit, sock booty fit. Let me adjust my lighting a little bit here. Again, here's a shot of the boost on the back. There's tons of boost on this shoe. Again, it's easily the cushest, plushest boost shoe I've ever worn. Kind of hold these up because they keep falling down. On the medial side, you have, again, boatloads of boost. You can see it. You can see the molded 3 stripes. There's the MOD cage and the TPU kind of back half of the cage to lock your foot in. And then the prime knit upper. Here's what the 3M looks like from the medial side of the shoe. So moving on now to my favorite part of the shoe is how they made the upper a lot like the EQT ADV. So I think what I really like about this shoe is it looks like the EQT ADV in that it doesn't have a real tongue. It's kind of a sock-like fit, and the silhouette looks a lot like the EQT ADV Support, but it's sitting on a boost sole, which is honestly the dream shoe that I've been hoping Adidas would drop for a long time, and now it's here in this bait collab. So no burrito tongue for everybody who's super excited about this drop. So here's the left shoe. We'll kind of speed up the video right here because it looks exactly the same as the right shoe. Looking at the outsoles here, this is probably my least favorite part of the shoe, is the fact that they're all white. I question the design decision to kind of make all white anything that is exclusively going to be on the ground. These will get dirty fast, but they are your outsoles, so they're supposed to be dirty. But you get the boost windows there, so the boost can compress through them, as well as the boost windows in the middle of the foot, a la Yeezys. So there you have it. It's a full look at the bait collab on the EQT Support Futures. Now we'll do a quick side-by-side comparison with the Overkill collab. So one thing that jumps out right away, for me at least, is those multiple stripes on the Overkill collab that also appear on all the GR 9317s. That's kind of the Adidas branding on the 9317 Support Future line. They don't have them on the bait collab, but again, I think they were intended to be replaced by kind of a three-stripe look from those bone patterns. On the EQT Support, as I mentioned earlier, you have this lace jewel. You only get one set, but they are made out of a very high quality, very sturdy feeling metal. On the Overkills, you get two sets, one black, one red, but they're made out of this kind of rubbery material. There's the bait branding and the Overkill branding, both on the left shoe in both pairs. And here you have the reflective rope laces on the baits and the flat reflective 3M laces on the Overkills. Here's a look at what they look like with the light on and reflecting. You can see that there is reflective underlays on the bait side, which I think was a great design touch. The only reflective part of the Overkills are the laces and a reflective stripe across the back heel, which you'll see in a little bit. On the inside, you have the Overkill coat of arms branding and the bait branding on the insole. The sock liner on the bait collab is this really nice plush neoprene material, whereas the Overkill sock liner is this kind of softer material, almost fleece-like, that really captures a lot of sock lint. So that's something to keep in mind if you are planning to purchase the Overkills at resale. Here's a look at the lateral side. You can see the difference in the tongue. The burrito tongue right there on the Overkills, and the more ADV looking tongue on the baits. Now taking a look at the cages, the Flywire-like mod cage on the baits, and then the standard three stripes of the EQT supports on the Overkills. There's more of that boost gapping that I was talking about earlier, so I've noticed this now on both the baits and the Overkills. It's a common flaw, I think, with the way that that boost is molded. Moving on to the back half of the shoe, one thing that really stands out again is the heel tab, as well as the neoprene material that the bait model features, whereas the Overkill model features a reflective stripe over a kind of nubuck material without a pull tab. So this, I think, is interesting as we move on to the medial side. Now, Bait claimed in their blog post about these shoes that there would be about, I think, 30 or 33% more prime knit on their model, their version. And a lot of that is because of this medial side of the shoe. Now, you can see here they have the mod cage, they have the TPU cage similar to the EQT, but what really stands out when you look at these shoes' medial sides is this nubuck paneling. On the other EQTs, it's a different material, it's not nubuck, but it's not prime knit is the key takeaway, and that's how Bait really gains that extra 30-33% more prime knit on the shoe itself. Okay, so moving on to on feet. From a sizing perspective, I actually went half size up for my true to size on these. What I found when I got the opportunity to try on a couple pairs was that the toe box is super narrow, and I have wide feet, so going up a half size actually wound up making these fit perfect, even if they're maybe just a pinch longer than I like. From a comfort perspective, these are easily the most comfortable shoes I've ever put on. Compared to my only other EQT Support Futures, which are the Overkills, these are way more comfortable. I don't know if it's that extra prime knit. It may also be that leather on the Ortholite sole, but these are incredibly comfortable shoes, and I highly recommend anyone cop these if you're even on the fence about it. I was lucky enough to get these from Bait, but they do drop this weekend, so if you're looking to cop, best of luck to you. I know the bots are a hard battle to fight right now, but what do you think of these shoes? Let me know in the comments. I definitely think they are a must cop.